everyone, this is Jacques, the Inspired Piper. Before I get on to the main topic of this episode, a couple of things, bit of housekeeping stuff to take care of. One is I just wanted to drop one more video before about 2 weeks of traveling. This in a couple of days, my wife and I are leaving for Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for a well-deserved vacation. And then followed by a week of traveling out to Montreal for some business meetings. So I won't have much time to work on some videos. I had some great reactions to the interview with Michael Curcio recently. That was really fun to do, and I've got a couple of other people that I have reached out to and want to reach out to do more of these interviews. I really enjoyed doing that. But yeah, vacation time, that brings a whole new dilemma when you're a pipe smoker, doesn't it? So I can pack a suit, like I travel a lot for business, I can pack a suitcase for a week in like 10 minutes, no problem. But now going on vacation, the suitcase stuff is really easy. But then, you know, when you're dealing with pad and tad, it's like, well, what blend am I going to bring? And what pipes am I going to bring? Obviously, I want to limit myself to maybe 2 or 3 pipes for the week. I don't want to bring the whole collection. And then what blends do you bring? You know, for sure, I'm going to bring my trusty old Orlik Golden Slice, which has really become my go-to blend, especially in the morning with a great cup of coffee. Then I'm kind of debating one of the either Presbyterian mixture or Escudo, which I just cracked open yesterday. I love Escudo and I love Presbyterian. I don't know, I'm thinking Presbyterian's a nice mellow blend that's good for the day. And then I thought, you know what? When I really took up the hobby about 2 years ago, I was trying a whole bunch of blends. And one of the blends I tried, I really enjoyed. And so I went out and I purchased about 4 or 5 tins that I said, well, I'll keep them for a while. And then last year, the company said, well, we're getting out of the tobacco game. And so I've got a couple of these Dunhill Flakes here that I had really enjoyed, nice Virginias. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to crack one of these open. Especially now that we have, I believe it's Standard Tobacco or Scandinavian Tobacco Group, which has acquired all the recipes and will be making these again. So, but you know what? It's like, that's why you buy them, right? To enjoy them. So this can is about, a little over a year old. So it's been aging for a while, and I'll probably bring that. So I wanted to do one more video before leaving for these trips. 2, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. In the space of about 2.5 weeks, I already hit 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which was kind of cool and made me really happy. And the comments have been great. Now, on the subject of happiness, this is what I wanted to tackle today. What a great segue, right? I came across a quote on one of my social media feeds a couple of years ago now. And I've discussed this with a few people, and this will open up some debate, I'm sure, and I hope, right? And we can agree on my thoughts or disagree with civility. But I want to read you the quote first and then tell you my thoughts on it. So I traced it back to a gentleman named Ralph Marston, who has a website called The Daily Motivator. And he's been doing this for a very long time because you'll see I'll put the link down at the bottom of the video. This particular entry dates from Tuesday, September 22nd, 1998. So he's been at this for quite a while. And here's the quote. Happiness is a choice, not a result. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. No person will make you happy unless you decide to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. Well, yes and no. My first reaction when I read this, I've been going through some turbulent times in my life, is that, and was happy, is that no, it can't just be a choice. I believe it actually is a result. And is a result of several things, in my opinion. One is, well, let's start with the most basic. You know, let's start with gratitude. Now, you may not like the job you're in. You may hate where you live. You may not be in a relationship that's, fulfilling you. Whatever your circumstances are, like how can you just get up in the morning and despite all that, go, well, I'm going to be happy today? In my mind, that doesn't work. So you need to make choices to change that. So maybe it starts with gratitude. Maybe it starts with, hey, at least I've got a job. I got clothes on my back. I got a roof over my head. Right? I can at least meet the minimum requirements for living a semi-decent life. I've got the basic necessities of life. So maybe it starts with that gratitude, right? And that leads to happiness. I mean, we do talk about the pursuit of happiness. So if we can just wake up in the morning and decide to be happy, well, why are we talking about a pursuit of happiness? So I think it starts with gratitude. A lot of it starts with gratitude, and there's been a lot of talk about mindfulness and gratitude in the past couple of years. So I think that's kind of taken some center stage, and I think people are, at least I've seen some people in my life that have expressed more gratitude on a daily basis. Right? Be grateful for what you have. But ultimately, I think it does come down to two other things. One is, making choices to change your circumstances, and then more importantly, acting on those choices. And then change your circumstances. Well, ultimately, if you've made the right choices and you've acted properly on them, well, should lead to some happiness, which should lead to being grateful every day for being alive and having what you have. So I'd love to, and the quote is right. Nobody will, happiness doesn't come from anybody else. It does come from you. It's up to you. You are solely responsible for making those choices and for acting on them. And not all the choices might be great. Not all the choices might lead to this utopia that we want and pursue, but at least you're doing something, right? At least you're making choices, you're acting. If there's a failure, fine. We learn, we go on, we try something else. But the quote is absolutely right that it does not come from others. It is absolutely your responsibility to make those choices, to be grateful, to act on those choices that you've made. So there are my thoughts on this. I would love to know what you think. For some of the folks that are in the YouTube pipe community, I'd love to either a comment from you guys. What do you think? Yes, no? Is it a choice? Is it a result? Personally, I guess I'm more in line with it's a result. It's a result of being grateful. It's a result of the choices and actions you take. But if you're on the YouTube pipe community and you have a channel, feel free to record your thoughts on this. I'd love to know what you think. So leave your comments below or point to your videos if you're going to do that. Love to know what you think. So I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. I'll have some more videos, some other things I'm thinking about, and hopefully some interviews to line up. In the meantime, happy smokes.